There's a side quest later on involving keys that have squirrels on them. I remember hating it, but that apparently got lodged in my brain. One of the few things from this game that I found incredibly memorable. Apparently.
Pleasure to meet you, Agent Morgan. We've been expecting you.
I'm Thomas McLean, the sheriff's assistant.
Yeah, Thomas is cool.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please just call me York. It's what everyone else calls me.
Very well then, Agent York.
I believe I owe you a thank you for retrieving my belongings from my car. Thanks.
Oh, no, just doing my job. Well, I want to help do everything I can to help the investigation. I just can't believe Anna was murdered. She was such a bright and lovely girl.
Did you know her well?
Well, no, not really. But it's a very small town. I'm sorry. It's just that this is the first really big case I've ever seen.
I understand. Just try to relax. Can I have a look at Anna's file now?
Yes, of course. The sheriff told me to let you through to the meeting room, but I've lost the key to the cabinet where the files are. Why don't you take a look around while I go look for it?
Okay. Let me know when things are ready.
Bye, Thomas.
Thomas appears to be the kind and sensitive type, totally at odds with the monarch. Almost a good setting for a cartoon.
So I do have to find a key. Maybe the whole thing with the squirrel keys is now. We'll soon find out, won't we? Let's go explore the police station then. There's probably some trading cards here. All the side quests are flashing back to me now. I'm just remembering all of them. Oh yeah, so my suit. Yeah, so suitcases and gun lockers. These are the two things. Long tape. Yeah. Here. Yeah. Okay. So here. It is this early on. I thought this was a side quest later on, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's now. I can open up one locker, but there's nothing in it. I don't remember why. Actual reflections, though. And I like that if I'm running, I do slam the door open. Again, there's lots of little things like that.
Zach, there's a name written on this dumbbell. Arnold. I haven't met anyone by that name yet. Could it be the owner of this dumbbell? What do you think, Zach?
So I think this is for a side quest later on, which is interesting. Oh, am I in chapter... No, I can't be in chapter 2 already. Am I in chapter 2? Where does it... Would it tell me? Where would it tell me? What am I doing? Where am I? Who am I? I don't know where I would know. Well, that's the map button. I've just told me there's a trading card around here somewhere. Oh, it's the... yeah, it's the turkey sandwich trading card, of course. I can learn about the turkey sandwich, the important character of turkey sandwich. The weird purple turkey sandwich. And weirdly, which you'll be hearing a lot, isn't even the weirdest sandwich in this game. Oh no, that's one of the other cutscenes that people know this game for. Yeah, there's a lot of squirrel keys here. I think I need to find all 5 of them. What did that say? Well-organized storage room. No doubt this is Thomas's work. Whoever gets to marry him will be spoiled rotten. Okay.
A raincoat? Doesn't look like it's been used much, even though it rains here pretty often. What waste of nice fabric, eh, Zach?
So a lot of this stuff, like even the stuff with Polly at the beginning, without giving too much away, it all generally is. There is a purpose to most of the conversations, but it's just not obvious what the purpose is until later on. But they all give you kind of just, some of it's just world building and just gives you like a little bit, like the stuff about Polly having and her husband used to working here together. What's used as an emergency exit if it's locked in an emergency? Too true. Too true. Like the stuff about Polly's husband is just flavor text, but there's I can break this if I push it enough. Yeah. Because you can't take your gun out. I think I can take my gun out here. Yay! There was nothing. Yeah, I can't take my gun out inside. I can only take my gun out in combat areas. I have to make sure I run into doors, otherwise it takes ages to open them. This person probably has nothing to do with the investigation. By virtue of them not being a quirky side character. Test the warden. Is he even used? Doesn't seem like it. So again, I love that these are just like the posters that have been put up to make it look like stuff, to make it just look like a computer place. But there's Most Wanted, and then one of the pictures is a man with is a policeman with his dog, and then there's a picture over here that says Most Wanted, and that's clearly a picture of two men and a raccoon or a cat, I think. And then this is just a property, McKenning Court. This is just a property advertisement. This game's so weird. I can just run around and explore all the cells. I can get sleep in the cells as well. I'm not going to do that actually, because I am, like I said, I think if I hadn't come here and if I just dicked about in town, come here after 5 o'clock when the police station was shut, I think I do actually get told off by George when I do show up. There's not hugely negative consequences, but hopefully we bring in the culprit soon. That will mean the end of our little vacation here. It's just some guy who's been arrested. It's a little town, but you know, even in little towns, people sometimes need to go to prison. Oh yeah, this one's locked. I come back here later, I think. There's oh, because there's a dude in it. There isn't one I come back to later. I think I do come. I think it's this one I come back to later. Actually, let me just try it now, because I think this bed, yeah, is covering a secret door. But York has no interest in the secret door at the moment, even though he can clearly see it. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So that's the door I came in. There's a shooting range over here? Yeah. Which I'm not going to do. But there is another keys here. So I think that's all of the keys. Yeah, I can't even do the shooting range here. It just... And it's on all the time. You know, this is a small... This is a small town. They've got an excess of electricity. There's not enough people in the town to use up all the electricity they use, so they just have stuff. They have all their lights on. They leave all of their stuff running constantly. Yeah, I got $5. I think I can smash this stuff open later on. But if I do it now, I can get the juicy treats inside. Yay! See, I got guns. I got bullets for a gun I don't have yet. Because I'm pretty sure the 10mm isn't my pistol. That's a 9mm. I think that's a submachine gun. Which, of course, every FBI agent needs. Right. So Thomas... I don't think there's any other in here. No. Agent York, did you find the key? So he hasn't told me that he's lost the key. I don't actually remember. I think it's this one.
You found the key.
That's the right one?
Yes.
Is it?
A
Yes.
southern flying squirrel. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
So I probably should
I'll
have come in
bring
and
the
talked to
files
Thomas
right in,
first.
so please
He
go to the
basically
meeting
tells
room.
you. He doesn't tell you
Okay.
exactly which
I'll be
key it
waiting for you.
is. He just
Well, Zach, we
describes the
just got
scroll
here
for
and
you.
we've cracked a big case already.
And then if you show him all the other keys, he basically goes, "No, this isn't the type of squirrel I described at all. This is a monkey tree squirrel." or
The victim's
whatever
name
it's
was Anna Graham. Age 18, she just recently graduated from high school this year. Her dream was to move out to the city and become a model. But for the time being, she was working in the A&G diner here in town. She lived with her mother, Sally. Anna's father died in an accident in a lumber mill when she was a child. Her mother is unemployed and lives on the insurance money from her husband's accident. After all, it's a small town with a low cost of living. Financially, they seem to get by fine, and they led normal lives.
A normal life is exactly what a curious teenager doesn't want. It's all starting to make sense, Zach.
Is it?
City folk, huh? No, I take that back. All of them can't be as bad as him, and some should have better manners.
Huh. This is a good biscuit. I've never tasted a biscuit this delicious. Where in town can I get these?
Well, actually, I baked them myself.
That's amazing. What are you doing in law enforcement? I'm very particular about biscuits, I'll have you know. The balance of milk and butter you've achieved here. Oh, my.
Agent Morgan, the autopsy's ready. You are welcome to accompany me to the Greenvale General Hospital. Emily, you come too. Thomas, stay here and tidy up these files.
Yes, sir.
We're going to use the car outside. Let's get going. You might think this is just a small-town police investigation, but our inspections are thorough and solid. I'm hoping you won't slow us down.
George, I'm eating a biscuit. Stop bugging me. Yes, the games... Swery's games are all kind of weirdly... weird about food. And there's a lot of stuff with food in his game, and I don't know why. I think he just likes food. Or it's because all his games are set in America, he just has it in his head that Americans like food, which is correct. And potatoes. They do love potatoes, just raw. Why chip it?
The Greenvale General Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car,
Okay.
George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
Just one thing, Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
As hospitals always do, as you know. So I think if I go and get in a different car, it comes up with a message. But I want the conversation with George and Emily. It's nice to get their.
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George,
No,
what are you, his
it's-
mother?
It's because the driving mechanics are terrible.
Autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack.
York's just grinning off to the side.
Well
It's
then,
like-
Agent York, let's get going.
Sure. Sounds good.
Alright, so I go to the hospital first. I forgot about that. Hang on. No, hang on. I'll turn the lights on. That's get... I do know how to drive a car, don't worry.
If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead. We don't have time to mess around.
Okay, I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, the hospital closes at 2100. Please make
Damn it, I think I
inside
might have
before
ruined my chance to drive there with... Damn it, I did. Ah, it's annoying. But look, he puts on a little poncho and it rains. Alright, well, since I've ballsed that up, I do just get a little conversation with them. I can go and have lunch here. Which is why it's got the... Actually, I think I can have breakfast here. Which is why it's got the dining room, the sort of knife and fork on it. Which I think is... the conference room or the meeting room? No, that's the weather. Oh, maybe I can't do it yet. It's on the map, but I can't actually... Oh no, there we go. Lunch with Thomas. It's just across this room. Oh yeah, the office. Here we go. Agent York, would you like to have lunch with us? Yes, great. I'll have it ready for you in a jiffy.
It's nice to be able to eat lunch together like this.
No matter how
We'll
much
meet
we
you
get
at the
along,
hospital.
remember, Agent Morgan is a member of a different organization, and I doubt he'll be of much help with the case.
Come on, George, be nice.
It's okay, I'm used to it. This is the typical reaction of most local sheriffs who are really good at what they do when the FBI comes to help with a case. I understand the mentality completely. We've all seen it on TV, but it happens in real life all the time.
So, George is the defensive home turf sheriff?
Yes, definitely.
And the FBI agent is going to make the sheriff look bad, just like the TV shows?
That's not what I mean, George. When you're good at what you do, you tend to defend your work aggressively. You simply displayed a perfectly natural reaction.
A natural reaction?
Thomas, you've outdone yourself again. Food was delicious, as expected. Amazingly good.
Thank you.
That ham salad was fantastic. I wish the boys at HQ could get a taste of it.
Really? I can give you some of the ham. It's homemade.
Homemade ham. Amazing.
My mother taught me how to make them. I have some homemade pickles, too. I was just...
That's enough, Thomas. We're very busy.
I mean, we're eating lunch, George.
Agent Morgan, stop wasting time around here and let's get over to the hospital.
Yeah, we'd better get going. We'll see you there.
Get this all cleared up and get back to work.
Yes, sir.
I'm impressed again, Zach. It must be very peaceful here. A law enforcer with the time to make ham at home. Simply amazing.
I like how everyone just leaves all their food uneaten. Yeah. So I mean, that you get that. It's nice because you either can drive to the hospital with Emily and George and get that sequence, or you can get out and have that cutscene instead. Because obviously, otherwise, I think they do have that, but it's slightly different. Even if you do it later on, there's only so many times you can eat lunch here every single time. Figure most women are prone to cold. I don't know that's true. She also has lots of sweets and stuff on her desk. So, one of these is Thomas's desk. So at Thomas's desk, the cushion looks stonily cute, though. I figure it's none of our business. Yeah. So it's the camera's. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. I was gonna say the camera. I can sort of Yeah, and then there's George's office, which should be open. Yay! I think I can get... Oh, I thought I could get a trading card of George here, but I guess I can't. Maybe I get that for...
Zach, look at
Ooh.
this. Oh, now this is something special. It's the epitome of the old frontier sheriff's office. It's perfect.
A stuffed deer's head on the wall. A flag, a hunting rifle. A hunting rifle. Amazing. You'd never see a hunting rifle on the wall of a police department in the city. It's just amazing. Wonder if the sheriff would ever let me shoot it.
I love how he's just completely enraptured by just how quaint everything here is. Just like, oh, look how it's just how stereotypical everything is. I love it. Ooh. And he's like, I don't understand why people don't like me. Just come into their town and tell them how quaint and delightful they are, and everyone's just like, he's such a prick. So yeah, I think I can have lunch conversations that sort of that are different, but I think that's the only time I can have that one where it ends with them saying, hey, we need to go to the hospital. Because obviously other times I don't need to go to the hospital. Don't remember why I do this. I think this comes into play later on, where I can... Ooh, the frame rate strangely... nice there. I think that comes into play later on, when I need to peek through a window to try and find something. Yeah, anyway. So I missed out on my driving conversation with Emily and George. I don't remember there being... Well, it's, you know, that's going to happen. There's going to be stuff that I'm going to do in the wrong order, or... I shouldn't miss anything important, though. Now, how do I reverse? Let's try this again. Right. It was the next button I was going to try, I promise. Let's get to the hospital before it closes. There's a trading card here. I promise I won't. I generally will not try and get these trading cards because...
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
They told us to be there before 2100.
See, now I got the Lily Ingram one. It's important. Haven't met her yet. You'll notice, by the way, as well, and it's especially obvious by the way they're pronouncing her name, but Anna Graham, or as they're pronouncing it, Anagram, is a play on the word anagram. As far as I know, as far as I can remember, that means nothing. It's literally a play on words for the sake of playing on words. I might be wrong, there might be some metaphor there that relates to something that I'm not remembering, but yeah. Jesus, this car sucks. You do get a better car later, but
Speaking of 80s movies, one jewel in the rough springs to mind. Deadly Spawn. Do you remember that one, Zach?
Back in '83, directed by Douglas McCann. Right, it was filmed pretty cheap, but still it was pretty good. The monster design with the mouth crammed full of teeth, I loved it. So many delicious B-movie cliches. Did you know that they made a sequel? But I never got to see the sequel. The rental store didn't have it for some reason. They said the staff for the sequel was totally different from the original. I wonder how the sequel turned out. You know, the monster in that one responded to sound.
Wait, Zach. Sounds a lot like the movie Tremors.
I think that one was back in '89, directed by Ron Underwood. That was a great role for Kevin Bacon. Masterpiece.
Zach, that one had sequels like crazy. I remember there was a fourth one. I've only seen the first one, though.
So yeah, I took a shortcut there, but I was letting Zach talk about. Sorry, York talked to Zach about. I can't even remember what the movie was. You mentioned Tremors at the end there, though. But yeah, The map's not great at figuring out where stuff is. I'm gonna try and just drive towards and try to remember the map. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff on the map that just looks very similar, so it's not that useful for figuring stuff out. It's normally easier just to kind of try and drive towards the marker as best you can. And sometimes you have to drive on a little shortcut like that. Here we are, the Greenvale General Hospital.
Agent Morgan, have you no respect for rules and protocol? We were waiting for you, and now you try to go in by yourself.
Oh, George.
Why are you standing in the rain?
I didn't see you in the parking lot, so I thought I'd wait inside.
Just watch it from now on. I don't like inconsiderate people who think that they're above the rules. And I'm sure I've
Why are
made
you taking
this
your hat
clear
off
by
in the
now.
rain?
Calm down, George. He probably just got lost on his way here and rushed in. Right, Agent York? Let's go inside then.
Can of tomato sauce. Important. Just crack it open,
Hello,
drink
Sheriff.
it raw. Freckly Fiona. I think that is actually her name. I don't think she gets a proper name.
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But how did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne.
Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime. The murder of a local girl.
And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But everyone feels the seditious, heinous evil still lurking, alive. Yes, much like the situation right now here in Greenvale.
Fiona, don't say that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain, and it's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
Yeah. That's Fiona. Mr. John should be in the computer room. Now her talk button is white, and I have no more need to talk to her. Again, I love that feature. Let's save. Alright. I can't remember if that book is important. I don't think it is. Also, it gives you an idea of sort of... I think... this game came out in 2010. I had a mobile phone, so it probably is set around the same time it was... Why? What's going on? Set around the same time. But it is just weird that you're just like... A computer room? In a hospital? What need does hospital have for computers? Hospital is for patients. You should have operating rooms. Here we go.
We couldn't find him.
Fiona needs to check her information.
No, I don't think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
What do you mean?
Oh, this thing.
There's a message on the computer, and a card key already set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
It's a simple puzzle.
Zach, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
I think so. I have a feeling this is one of those puzzles where it's... No. Alexa, stop. Does AI have feelings? What did I say to make Alexa search for AI? Does AI have feelings? Nothing but problems since I got that thing. Right, so I think this is one of these puzzles that like you read that king passes rook and meets bishop, so the king goes after the rook and then next to the bishop. I think it is literally just king, rook, wait, I'm trying to remember which one's the rook and which one's the bishop now. This is awkward. I think that's right. Knight, pawn, queen. You lose. Okay, hang on. I might have got that wrong way around there.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
So we don't need any clues. What they're talking about is the sign in here. Alright, so the rook is the castle. Rook meets bishop, yeah. I was looking at them thinking, is that the other way round? That and then knight takes pawn to the queen. See, it's literally you just put it in the order that it says it in the sentence there. It's made to look like it's look how happy he is. It's made to look like
the doctor
he's
awaits below with the deceased.
more complicated
Another
than it is, and it's
code?
really, really not.
But there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usha up here right now.
No need, George. The message appeared with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple.
Yeah. See,
Then
this is
it's
the thing.
time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
York's a weirdo.
Nah.
Unfortunately, everyone else is also a weirdo. Like, even Emily, who I think is probably the most normal person in the game, is still has her quirks. Mostly she acts as a straight man to York, though. And his various eccentricities, but... Slam! Yeah, I remember being stuck on that longer when I first played it. There's not really much reason to. I could just check the map real quick, but I don't think there's any reason to explore the hospital. I think it's all pretty... Yeah, there's beds to sleep in. That's Fiona Freckles. George and Emily. The keys mean the door's locked. Yeah. So loud. Don't know why they decided that was a suitable sound effect for quitting out of menu options and stuff. Also, I like how many of these doors are just locked with a painted on JPEG of a do not enter sign. Oh, this game. But yeah, I remember being stuck on that for ages, to the point where I was like, no, it's just literally the order of the pieces, like, and the posters in the room tell you what each of the pieces are. It's embarrassing that I got the rook and the bishop mixed up, though. I knew bishops weren't castles. Obviously not. They got the little dent in their head, like real bishops. Shelves storing bodies. I wouldn't open these unless we really need to. Oh, I can open these later. I think Anna's under that sheet, but I can't. I'd have to go round. I don't remember why it lets me in this room. Oh, there's some agent on here. Yeah. And I can also go in the vending machine and buy some incredibly expensive candy. I'm not going to, though. I just ate lunch. I just had a very filling lunch at the police station. Or breakfast, I suppose. No, it was lunch. It was lunch. So here's Dr. Usha.
Usha.
Usha?
Sorry to keep you
Usha.
waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usher Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand. Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance. The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her. Now, the killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally. Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely individual. Either that, or a truly hardcore sadist. He must get off on watching women suffer, especially when they can't answer back. Now, he watched as the blood pumped from her body, as she gradually grew cold. Now, a case in Seattle in 1985 was much like...
Usher, please, limit your report to your findings as a doctor. Criminal profiling is my job. You're wrong, also. Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these.
I think I get to do an autopsy minigame now. Which I said autopsy in a weird way there, but I do that sometimes. To observe around. Age isn't immediately apparent, though. He can't be that old. Looks like a trustworthy doctor. You shouldn't stare at her for too long. I don't know if it's like Metal Gear Solid, where if you stare at her for a little while, she does eventually say something. That used to happen if you stared at Meryl with a camera, she'd get shy. She's changed position, but that might just be her camera. No, I can't remember if this does anything or not. No, I think she just rotates through a few different... Still no hint of a smile. There's no reason we should focus our efforts on George. No, I think she just rotates through a few different animations. So, she's neatly wearing fake fingernails. Judging from the impression, she was holding something in her hand, but it was removed around 6 hours after death. The object was circular with a relief shaped like a peace mark. Anna's body is lying on the table. Oh, those are some. I mean, I know you're dead, but those are some weird feet. Apparently, we don't want to discuss the feet. Beautiful blonde hair, stunning even in death. Yeah, I'm sure it's the hair you're looking at. Yeah, weirdo. Traces of evaporated liquid around the eye. She must have cried before she was murdered. Tongue has been removed. Look at the edge of the stump. Anyway, that's all the stuff I need to look at.
From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
Asha, are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator, is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
I feel like you should have been able to figure that out from the
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something.
Just carries these around with him. Like a normal FBI agent.
There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh?
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
Morgan's such a dork. So yeah. So this game in Japan was called the Red. Okay, just not noticing this at all. And also just smoking in the corridor. It's like I need to smoke. Should be fine. So this game was called the Red Seed Murders, I think, in Japan. Instead of Deadly Premonition. So that's why the name of the game makes a lot more. I called Red Seed. No, I think it's called Red Seed Murders.
Zach, they're here.
Makes a lot more sense than Deadly Premonition. I'm still not 100% sure why this game is called Deadly Premonition. I don't think you at any point have a premonition, really. But yeah, we've now entered a kind of weird Silent Hill otherworld again. Oh, that's anagram. So yeah, get used to her doing that, because she does that a lot. So I think now I can open these up. Again, got bullets for a gun I don't own yet. I think I get the gun during this little dungeon. Just cap it with a white cloth. Bye, anagram. Bye, anagram. Oh, it's the monsters from before, but now they're nurses. Oh yeah, this is way better than what I remember from playing. Yeah, see, that's so creepy. I always thought they did a really good job on that. Just that death rattle of "I don't want to die" is just so, ugh. Because of the audio mixing, depending on the music, sometimes you can hear it. But yeah, these enemies are way more tolerable. I think I can maybe, because I do have melee weapons as well, by the way. But the melee weapons have durability, whereas the gun has infinite ammo. I think I do remember the melee weapons, because the gun was so weak when I played this before. I do remember relying on melee weapons quite a bit, but there we go. For some reason this game gives you the option to just unequip weapons entirely. I don't know why. The only thing is you can't move while you're shooting. Oh, because I've got a critical on it. I don't know why I did a
Great.
scary noise, because no enemies popped out at that point, but I guess they was doing a scary noise for these guys. Oh, he popped out. Yeah, some of them do shout kill you as well. So yeah, the dungeons, yeah, these sections are honestly the low point of the game, because they're fortunate, like I said, they don't generally wear out their welcome, but they're not difficult, and they're not fun. I think the lock-on is something that was added in the PS3 version. I don't remember that being... I don't remember that being there before. Yeah, I got black coffee. See, I could have bought one for like $120, but I got one for free. Where's that crying coming from? Peel back the sheet, and it's... It's a key card? Yeah. Got the card key for Central Building. Yeah, so these sections aren't good. Don't for a second think that they are.
Amazing.
The best part is when, a little later on, the Raincoat Killer will show back. I don't think he does on this one. There's one, the one I remember really struggling with, and I think it's because you actually have a full-blown QTE fight against him, is, well, I won't spoil it, but they have mentioned it already, but in one of the areas you go to, I'll mention it when we actually go there, but... It is an area that has been mentioned. The other part of the reason is there's not really much... I I don't want to cut this stuff out because it is gameplay. It is, you know, part of the game. But there's just not really a lot to talk about in this section. But yeah, so this is the reason York's come here, because he's been... I have the card key, just let me use it. Oh, I have to... There we go, I have to use it in the door first. Silly me. Silly me. Sorry, York. Sorry for wasting your time. Fortunately, these sections are explained. It's never really explained why York is so sort of laissez-faire about them, but it is explained why they are happening to some degree. So, if you're thinking, "Oh, this stuff's never going to get explained," it does. Don't worry. I got a new knife. Not that I've used the first one I got. I got a lollipop. Good shit, lollipop. First aid kit. Now, normally a game sort of gives you all this stuff. Like, it's giving me a knife and some stuff. Like, you think, oh, this is a boss fountain. This is leveling me up for a boss fight I'm going to have. I can rest. I can shut my gun locker. You know, I can do all of that stuff. I don't think it does. I think it's just... Yeah, that was there. I think I could just... This game doesn't really have, from what I remember, boss fights. It has... Well, this game doesn't have boss fights for most of the game. There are boss fights at some point, but... Generally, it's quick time events with the Raincoat Killer that do eventually get quite tricky. This actually is quite good when one of them grab you. Oh no, the better ones when they get you from being upside down. It's quite creepy. They try and jam. I love France. I don't know. I don't really remember that. But I love York's nerdy. Oh no! Get off of me! Oh, I should clear up my inventory. You're right. I should, because I don't need all these combat knives and lollipops. But it's fine. I don't have the gun that this is for yet, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And you're wondering, why would I want another gun when this gun has infinite bullets? It's because the other guns do more damage. But then, at a certain point, all the guns become meaningless. There's a gun you can get that basically just makes all other weapons in the game pointless. What's up, Anagram?
Here! Over here!
It's amazing you can talk without your tongue. Also that, you know, you can move without all of your blood. Yeah, I could fight all of those things, but I don't have to, so I'm not going to. So I can pick that up. Do items have... I think items have... They must have weight or size to them. Oh, well maybe I just had full ammo. That's why it wouldn't let me pick any more up. That's probably what it is. Is this a device control the ammo? Should we fiddle with the Zac? Yes. Again, like the fuse box, York just intrinsically knows that if it's a meddle with the MRI machine, he's like, yeah, I know how to turn this on, and doing this will help. There's literally no reason for me to have needed to do that. Like, I could have very just easily leant inside the MRI machine and grabbed that, but York is too lazy. York is too lazy and intelligent. It's like, why lean inside and get the keycard when I can program the computer to bring the keycard to me? I actually don't know where to go from here. Oh, forward and to the right. No, that's it. I probably do need to clear this out a little bit. I'm surprised she didn't grab me. Like, I ran into that nurse quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You shouldn't have picked a fight with Francis York Morgan then. Haha. So I think it may be implied, and this is part of the reason why I keep calling him like different parts of his name. Why York? I'll try and stick with York. Why York doesn't really get like messed up by all of this stuff is because he's been chasing this killer around for this whole Red Seeds thing for a while now, and he's kind of used to it. Like, this is all old hat to York. And he's like, yep, this thing again. Every time I try and do one of these things. And now the zombies have got guns. I just tap my tie. Just like, I do not have time for this crap. So I think I can get a gun here. But I can also just shoot them with my normal gun, and it's fine. Oh, but I do get shotgun shells off of them. Cool. No, we can't use that. It's like, haha, I protect my face with my gun. I'll just shoot you in the balls then. Yeah, okay. So I think it's that I can carry. I don't have a carrying capacity, but I can only carry a certain amount of each Item. I think that's it. Trying to. Oh, I have to select, I see. Yes, I can carry 8 of 8 small first aid kits. If I use one... they really don't heal a lot of health, do they? But I can now pick this one up. There we go. Might as well. Be a shame to let it go to waste. And then there's a medium kit, which I still have space for. I thought there was a gun, but I guess not.
Yes.
Just dudes with guns. There is a gunsmith in town who I can go to get some guns. Am I finished? Yes. I think that was York's O face, which is the indication that everything's done and things have gone back to
Agent
normal.
Morgan, if you're so desperate, then why not smoke 2 at once?
It's like I just fought my way through here through a bunch of zombie nurses, alright? Ah, yeah! Yeah! I forgot about these two. Well, I didn't forget about them, I just didn't think they showed up here.
That's Harry. Harry Stewart. One of the bigger problems around here. His father started up the lumber trade and founded this town. But he's a weird one, as I'm sure you can see. Always dressed like that, never speaking to the townsfolk. And just FYI, he owns almost the entire town. Not that that makes any difference. So long as I'm around, he won't be getting away with any funny business.
Oh, Harry.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, haste won't lead you to what you seek. Keep your eyes focused on your footing as we speak. So says Mr. Stewart.
Nice to meet you, too. How did you know my name?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, information desires you, just as you desire information too. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, stop trying to get in our way. Keep this up, and even you'll have to answer to the law.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, with each rain our town goes mad. To our disdain, unpreventable. So sad. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning.
Then we shall depart, Mr. Francis York Morgan.
That's how he always is. Always spouting that nonsense. Don't give it any thought. It's all gibberish.
Emily here.
Spoilers, it's not gibberish.
Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Agent York, we've contacted the first witnesses to the crime scene. You can interview them where they found the dead body.
Excellent. I was just about to ask if you could take me there.
I think what I'm going to do is I will have to... It's going to be quite awkward, but I think it's quite important to see the scene where they find the body. So what I'll do is, once I'm finished recording this, I'll go back, replay the cutscene, and then just edit it in after my introduction, but before the gameplay starts. Because, yeah, it's quite an important cutscene. So if you watched... This will be part 2 now. If you watched part 1 and thought, that was a weird edit, now, having watched this episode, you know why I did it. That's how editing works.
The body was found in the Greenvale Forest Park. That's west from here, and too far to walk.
A forest park?
It's the pride of the town. It has a beautiful trail leading to a viewing site over Velvet Falls.
That does sound fantastic.
Perfect for murdering.
Show me the sights.
That may have to wait. We promised to be there by 1800 to interview the first witnesses to the crime scene.
Alright, so let's... Where's a phone booth? If you intend to come with us, then we'll go on ahead. No, I'll go with you. I don't want to... I think that... I don't remember what that purple is. Does it tell me if I mouse over it? Oh, that's the... Oh, repeat Otherworld. Okay, I could just go back and replay. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can replay. I do remember that. You can replay the Otherworld sections when they could show up. Is there not a phone box around here? Oh, there's one. Can we let me go and save? Yes, you will. Good. There we go. All right. No, dang it. I do like that that noise though. If you don't save, it's very. It's very clown horn. Audio mixing in this game is terrible. I actually googled. Look, me and Polly, the only people here. Look how much food she's made. She's and this hotel is massive. Like you saw the size of the corridor when I was running down. This place. Look at this. Why? How has she made this much food?